able to provide the service of quality education to you. Now, during COVID-19, more than ever, we're dedicated to delivering to you against all odds. Whether you have chosen management studies or accounting, the weekend program is structured ideally to enable you to complete the Bachelor of Science degree in 4 years. For the last 10 or so years, we have held classes on Saturdays over 3 semesters in each academic year. I encourage you to see this as more than Saturday classes, as we will do our best to engage you beyond the 3-hour classes and the 1 day. Hopefully, as the recent political debates have shown, a 90-second performance, or is it a 30-second rebuttal, cannot fully reflect on 4 or even 18 years of work. Therefore, I encourage you to pace yourself throughout the week and the entire program so that you do not become exasperated and overwhelmed when the moderator, or in our context, the lecturer, the examiner, or the invigilator says, "Thank you, time up." The slate of core courses in management, accounting, business law, taxation, and economics will help to build on your existing knowledge in your current or future professional fields. We hope that we can also pique your interest in exploring new areas you may not have considered before. So we also have free electives in the Faculty of Social Sciences weekend program. We offer free electives in areas such as disability studies, entrepreneurship, and most recently, international relations. All areas that will complement your core suite of studies and equip you with more tools for understanding and, more importantly, critiquing different dimensions of the increasingly complex world we live in. The next 4 years will truly be a partnership. Many of us, many of the persons guiding you through this program have been on similar paths as you before. We all value education, and we have lived through some of the same challenges that you have already faced and will continue to endure. Some of us are the first in our families with university degrees. We know of the sacrifices of student loans, bank loans, overcoming health issues, working while studying, parenting while studying. It is a perpetual balancing act. We promise you to do our part in delivering quality instruction and content and in helping you achieve your professional and academic goals. As we partner with you, I encourage you to do your part. Show up, attend classes, do your readings and your assignments, collaborate with your classmates, use the library and all the other resources available to you. Ask questions if you don't understand. Get to know your lecturers and other members of the university community. We are all here to help you reach your goals. Now, I wish to also say something about our practical arrangements in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic. We have entered upon new territory, much like T'Challa, King T'Challa entering Wakanda, but this is real life. But based on last semester, I'm confident that our teaching arrangements through our virtual learning environment or VLE portals, examinations, whether through distance or face-to-face, and our joint commitment to success will help us all to prevail. Remember that faculty members will seek to be online to provide assistance and guidance as you adjust to your respective academic requirements. Once again, I look forward to interacting with you as you all reach your goals. And now take the time to welcome our Dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences, Professor David Tennant, as he will also greet you. Thank you.
Morning, everyone. Are you hearing me?
Yeah,
Yes,
good morning.
Great, great. Students, you're starting your journey into tertiary education in a period of great uncertainty. So even as I welcome you, I want to commend you, because where others have responded to the uncertainty of the times by freezing and putting their plans on hold, you have responded in the best way possible. You have responded by investing in yourselves and in your capacity to forge a prosperous future, even without knowing what the future will look like. Now, this is critical, because the one thing that this COVID-19 pandemic should have taught us is to not take anything for granted. What will the economies of the future look like? What are the industries and fields that will drive future growth? Where will the jobs for you be in 4 years when you graduate? Now, I can hazard guesses, but I can't say that I know the answer to these questions for certain. So how can you know that you have chosen the right degree or major, or even faculty for that matter, when the future is so uncertain? And if you haven't chosen the right field, how can you be reasonably assured that you'll get a job when you graduate? And if you don't get a job or a better job, how would you be able to pay off your student loan or contribute to your parents or families who have sacrificed so much to send you here? Now, these are all critical questions, students, which are made even more pressing in these uncertain times. So what are the answers? Well, here's the answer that most students tend not to believe or to appreciate until it is too late. You ready for it? Here's the answer. It is not what you do that matters. What is critical is how you do it. Let me say that again for those of you who missed it. It is not what you do that matters. What is critical is how you do it. For every combination of major, minor, double major that we offer, we have graduates who have excelled and made the most of their talents, and we have others who have struggled. So what's the difference? It's not the course of study that they pursued, but rather the extent to which they applied themselves during that course of study. Last year at the Undergraduate Award ceremony, I delivered a speech. And at the end of the ceremony, someone came up to me and said that they appreciated the speech, but wished that someone had said those things to them at the start of their journey rather than at the end. So I took wisdom from those words. And so this morning, in the few minutes that I have left, I want to share with you some of my observations about the journey that different types of UE students tend to take. And I want to share this with you now at the start of your journey, so that you can take some critical decisions from now about your path, which will help you to be better prepared for the uncertain future that awaits you. So I'm going to quickly go through 5 types of students, or let us call them travelers on the UE journey. 5 types. So first you have the hitchhiker. Hitchhiker. Now this person has never bought a car or a bike or even a bus ticket, but yet always seems to get to their destination. You know the type? This is the person that gets on by the efforts of others. This student relies on study groups and friends to carry them through university. Now don't get me wrong, being able to work in teams is critical for success at UE and the working world. But the hitchhiker takes this to another level, where individual effort, individual creativity, discipline, and drive are never really put to the test, and their success is always hitched to someone else's wagon. This type of student can achieve some success by being a hitchhiker, but they are going to realize eventually that occasions are coming where you'll have to stand alone, and you must be able to showcase your capabilities as an individual. So as you proceed through your university journey, and even more so when you graduate and venture out into the work of world, the opportunities to hitchhike are going to become fewer and far between. It's better not to get into the practice of hitchhiking at all and to make it a habit which you will find hard to break later on. But maybe you're not a hitchhiker, and maybe you will never be one. Maybe you're quite the opposite type of traveler. You don't have the time or the patience for the whole heap of group work and study groups and working with people. From day one, as you sit here now, you know that you are here to get a first class honors. And you know what you will have to do to get it. You know it is only by the sweat of your brow that you're going to succeed. So you don't have any time for distractions. You have already put on your blinkers to prevent you from looking to the left or to the right. For you, it is work, work, and all work aimed at getting you out of this place as quickly as possible with the highest GPA possible. Now, such students we're going to call the one-track travelers. Now, this student is focused on schoolwork and nothing else. Don't come to them about service or volunteerism or leadership training or anything like that. They just want the 4.0 GPA. Now, these are the type of students, when they graduate and you look on their CV, you see nothing on it besides a big fat first class honors. But the question that I want you to ask yourselves from now is, will the 4.0 GPA be enough to guarantee your success in the future? Students, I want you to hear me carefully when I say this. Employers are not looking for the student with the highest GPA. They're looking for the candidate that is best able to enter their organization and make an immediate contribution. They're looking for the person that can exhibit leadership qualities, interpersonal skills, problem-solving abilities, and an interest that goes beyond the scope of academics. Balance is important. The students who shine are the ones who open themselves to a world beyond academia. You know, the story is told of two young fish swimming along, and they happen to meet an older fish swimming the other way. An older fish nods at them and says, "Morning, boys, how's the water?" And the two young fish swim on for a bit, and then eventually one of them looks over the other fish and says, "What the hell is water?" Students, I hope and I pray that this will not characterize you in your UE journey, and that you get so versed in the little bit of specific knowledge that you garner in your accounting or in your management studies, that you don't realize that there is a whole world around you that you need to apply this knowledge to. You're going to find that sometimes when you get caught up in the studies and the projects and the group work, it is hard to stay aware of what is happening in the world. But that is what a university education is about. The true value of the degree you're acquiring is less about the information that you will sort, and it is all about learning how to think, to analyze, to critique, and to apply those thoughts in a sensible manner to the world, to the reality that you're faced with. So please, avoid the temptation of being a one-track traveler. So we've looked at the hitchhikers, we've looked at the one-track travelers. So who is next? Well, next up we have the shortcut travelers, the shortcut travelers. Now this is a person who never saw a shortcut that they didn't like. This type of student always tries to find the shortest and quickest route to their destination. If it is shorter and quicker, they will take that route and ignore the danger involved. This student is focused on only one thing and one thing only. What is coming on the exam? And once they find that out, then they channel all of their efforts on that particular topic or topics. Here's a problem, students. Shortcut draw blood. While these students think that they have found a shortcut to earning their degree, they have actually shortchanged themselves. What they have done, in effect, is to rob themselves of the knowledge and the tools that come from fully immersing themselves in what the courses and the programs have to offer. So having taken the shortcut to their degree, when they graduate, they and their employers quickly realize that they have been shortchanged. Students, this is a path that you must avoid at all costs. Remember, in these uncertain times, it is not what you do that will prepare you for the future, but how you do what you do. It's the skills, the tools, analytical techniques, and ways of thinking that will benefit you later on. You may be able to get an A in some exams by spotting questions, but you will forever lose out on the life-changing skills and experiences if you choose to take that path. Now, the fourth kind of traveler in the UE journey is what we'll call the comfort zone traveler. The comfort zone traveler. Now, this type of traveler always plays it safe. When they travel, it is within the familiarity of their own neighborhood. Some students will try to choose only the courses that they are reasonably assured that they can get an easy A in. These students think that they have found the ultimate solution to the oppressive system of its academics, because if they never put themselves in a situation where they might fail, then they never will fail. So they stick to what is familiar to them, to what poses the least challenge. They stick to what they already know. They swim in the shallow end where they're comfortable knowing that they cannot drown. But you see, the challenge with the shallow end is that although you won't drown, you will also never be able to explore your full potential. Students, as you embark on your UE journey, promise yourselves that you will not limit yourself to being a comfort zone traveler. Opportunities come through challenging circumstances. By avoiding those challenges, you are closing the doors of opportunity to your future. All right, so we have looked at the hitchhikers, the one-track travelers, the shortcut travelers, and the comfort zone travelers. We looked at 4 so far. So here is the 5th and final category of students that I found on the UE journey of success. This type of student we will call the explorers. The explorers. Now, the explorer embraces the thrill of the journey and makes the most of every trip. This student is open to all the experiences that university has to offer. They attend their online classes and tutorials and are actively engaged. They seek the counsel of their lecturers and may even challenge them from time to time. The student understands that in order to develop holistically, they need to broaden their horizons. They explore their creativity by investing in their talents and hobbies. They interact and socialize with the people they encounter along their journey. This type of student gets the full value of their investment in their university education. This is the type of student that employers want, because not only will they graduate with a good class of degree, but they will actually have learned. They will have learned not only content, but they will have learned the skills that will make them valuable in the workplace. Thinking skills, analytical skills, problem-solving skills, communication skills, soft skills. So my question to you this morning is, students, what type of traveler will you be on your University of the West Indies journey? I hope you will make the decision to be an explorer. Like the explorer, open up yourself to new and exciting experiences, even though they may be frightening at times. You know, I know that one of the frightening situations that some of you are facing right now is the worry about how you're going to pay your tuition fees, and some of you, how you're going to pay back the student loan. And trust me, I can relate to that. When I got accepted into UA umpteen of years ago, by the skin of my teeth, I must add, my mother couldn't afford to pay my tuition fees, and my grades didn't merit any scholarships. So I had to get a student loan. And from the moment I signed that loan document for the first year's tuition, I began to worry about how I would pay it off. So you know what I decided at that moment? I decided I would never again pay a cent for my education. I went on from there to complete my BSc, my MSc, and my PhD, and I didn't pay another dollar outside of the repayment for my first year's tuition in the BSc. How? I got bursaries and scholarships every step of the way. I'm telling you this, students, because there are opportunities out there for you to pave a way of excellence for yourself. Your path of excellence might differ from my path, but if you start from now to reach for big, ambitious goals, and if you develop the right habits and take the right path, that will lead to your excellence. Students, this academic year has started in unusual circumstances. The COVID-19 pandemic has necessitated that our courses be offered online, at least for the first semester. Our staff in the Faculty of Social Sciences stands ready to provide academic advice and administrative support needed in this environment. We will best utilize the technology to enhance your experience with us. I want you to remember, however, that your learning is your responsibility, and you will choose the type of journey that you will have. I encourage you to make the most of this tremendous opportunity. Thank you.
Colleagues, thank you so much, Professor Tennant. Colleagues, if there is ever a more even-keeled, competent person of integrity to guide us through this difficult journey, whether you are hitchhiker, one-track traveler, shortcut traveler, comfort zone traveler, I would say to you, or explorer, that we are all in good hands with our current dean, Professor Tennant. Thank you so much, Professor Tennant, for sharing with us. I know you have to leave for other engagements, so we're glad you could join us this morning. So we have a little trivia, and I know at least Miss Chisholm and Miss Kelly are able to use the chat feature in Zoom. And this is going to be one of the necessary tools for us to engage with each other when we get to classes. So for the first trivia question this morning, for which the prize will be $500 credit for the service provider of your choice, you will have to answer in the chat feature with the correct answer. So the first person to answer this question correctly will receive a prize, and Miss Query will be in touch with you to deliver the prize to you virtually. So this morning's first question is, when did the Faculty of Social Sciences weekend program start? In what year? The first person to type the correct answer in the group chat will receive $500 credit for the service provider of their choice. In what year did the weekend program at the Faculty of Social Sciences, UWI-MONA, start? It was the 21st century for sure. So even though Professor Tennant says he started way back when, some of us started way back when plus more. So we seem to have two persons answering correctly, but the first person on the draw was Tash Chisholm. So in what year did the Faculty of Social Sciences weekend program start? 2009 is indeed the correct answer. So Ms. Chisholm, Anisha Query will be in touch with you regarding your prize. Thank you to Mr. McDonald as well for participating. Okay, next on our program, we will have, so you can't just take our word for it that the weekend program, of all the benefits of the weekend program. So we have with us this morning Mr. Janoy Reed, who's a former student, a management studies major of the weekend programs, who will share with you about his experience this morning. Thank you, Mr. Reed, for joining us. The floor is now yours.
Thank you for that introduction. A pleasant morning, everyone. May I start out by saying a big thank you to the Weekend School for the invitation to share with first-year students my experiences during the program. It is a privilege to be partnering with the department on this occasion. Throughout this testimonial, I will be sharing a few of my experiences whilst being a full student at the full-time school as a part-time student. Then I will share experiences after the transition over to the weekend school. The experiences that I will be focusing on are namely experiences with the lecturers group work dynamics, personal sacrifices made, struggles, and lastly, successes. Let us begin. Pre-weekend school experience. The journey all began September 2015, embarking upon the privilege to pursue a first degree at the prestigious University of the West Indies. I was accepted to pursue a Bachelor's of Science in Public Policy and Management. Two of my classes were scheduled in the evenings, and one was scheduled 10 a.m. in the mornings, but one was scheduled on the same day as the 10 o'clock class, which is 5 p.m. in the evening. I'm saying this to say that I had to find myself on campus 4 times per week. So that amounted to a lot of bus fare, taxi fare, and a lot of refreshments. Where when you're at the weekend school, you find yourself being at school 1 time for the week. So most of those expenses you won't have to be haggling with. All right. So that's a major plus for the weekend school. Whilst at full time, I was struggling with one of the courses. It was a struggle attending my 3 tutorials. It felt as if I was doing 6 courses 1 time. I eventually got an A plus for one course, failed one because I didn't submit a coursework assignment, essay, and failed the last one because I missed the last exam at 9 a.m. in the morning. I was at work that morning. I began the following school term, but took a leave of absence during the mid-semester exams because I was barred from sitting due to having outstanding fees for the previous semester. I used the opportunity to sort out the outstanding fees that I currently had with the previous semester. So for the second term, I didn't went to school. For the remainder of the second term, I took the opportunity to sort out the fees so I could start a fresh September coming. Along the way, a major discovery happened, the weekend school. I saw the opportunity to avoid traveling to school 4 times a week and still get a relevant degree. I immediately requested to change my major. Lecturers experience, weekend school begins. Starting a new chapter with the weekend program had many benefits that I was not expecting. What stood out firstly was how engaging the lecturers were. Lecturers illustrated a vested interest in our learning, which was a major plus for me. This was surprising since such energy wasn't easily received by students in full-time school. I don't know if it's because of the smaller size classes or, on a cheekier note, the fact that we pay more tuition than our full-time counterparts. I don't know. But whatever it is, the student-lecturer relationship is superb. Many a times I've entered a class not feeling optimistic of my prospects, willing to settle for the lowest passing grade I could get. But having observed how facilitating these lecturers are, and seeing that all I have to do is to follow the steps provided and submit all assignments, even if you think you're submitting garbage, let the lecturer be the judge of your garbage. It might be good enough to pass. Many of the lecturers have a career outside of teaching. As a result, most of the classes are infused with real life and real-time practices. Additionally, these lecturers may provide opportunities for you to expand your professional network and gain an advantage in the real world. Next subsection, group work experience. Another standout benefit of the weekend school is the group work dynamics. Most persons hate being in groups for courses because of having to deal with different personalities, different egos, different status and backgrounds. At the weekend school, group work was inescapable. You can't avoid it. For the first year, it's going to be very hard. But afterwards, it's going to become easier because of the relationships you're going to develop with different students. In addition, you'll find that it's the same set of students you're in classes with year in and year out. Therefore, you're already acquainted with each other, which makes it easier and more comfortable to work with the persons. And as Professor Tennant mentioned earlier, you have the hitchhikers. While at weekend school, you'll be able to identify who are the hitchhikers, and you'll be able to separate from those issues with those persons because you're aware of who's in the class and you're aware of their work ethic. When compared to full-time for most courses, you'll be constantly reintroducing yourselves to different persons and having to be readjusting to different personalities and lifestyle. Also, at full-time school, lecturers on most occasions assign students to a group randomly, making group relations more of an inconvenience. However, at weekend school, you'll have the luxury of creating your groups before the class even starts. That's a major plus. All right, moving on to the next subtopic, sacrifices, struggles, and success. So sacrifices. What are some of the sacrifices you'll have to make? Well, the first one is simple and obvious. You're going to have to put your money where your mouth is. It's a big sacrifice for most persons. That also means delaying self-gratifications. If you used to live in the fast lane, you'll have to slow down no, because of your resources, time, and focus will be shifted towards pursuing the degree. Some of you will have to sacrifice your peace of mind for living a life on the edge. Oh yes, some persons will be battling with personal concerns. For instance, I recall a female student pulling her legs up the steps to exit SR5, only to blurt out, and I quote, "Yes, my husband so left me now, cause me not get to do nothing in yard. No cleaning, no cooking, him must frustrated." End quote. Half the class laughed at first because we know her and we're all friends. When you're at weekend school, you're gonna have so many friends. We laughed at first, but eventually, after we empathized with her after further dialogue, right? And she explained the extent. There will be occasions where you will be overly concerned about where the money is going to come from to pay for the past semester fees, as Professor Tennant mentioned earlier. Look, I recall at several times I'm in the mid-semester exams and my previous semester fees are yet to be paid. In full-time school, I wasn't so lucky. The weekend school definitely looks out for their own. The weekend school looks out for their own. And they're not paying me to say this. In the midst of this entire struggle, a few blessings came my way. So this is a part of the success. Being a civil servant, I received assistance and 2 scholarships from the government ministries, totaling $393,000. Now imagine somebody give you almost $400,000 free, you know? $400,000 free. Oh my God. That was amazing. This had led me to believe the famous Jamaican saying, and we all should know this. And I quote, "Start the degree. Don't worry about the money. The money will come." Indeed, I am a witness to such faithful sayings. My closing remarks. And it's on this note I can join the father of American literature, Mark Twain himself, and declare that, and quote, "The secret to getting ahead is getting started. The secret to getting ahead is getting started," end quote. So in closing, I say to you first year students, take courage. You're already on the right track by getting started. There is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You won't get it by a lucky charm, but through hard work and discipline. You will be rewarded tremendously. Thank you for listening. Have a beautiful day, everyone, and all the best on this new journey. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Reed. You kept the conversation real. You told us some very practical tips. You shared with us in a very real way what some of the sacrifices are, even, making us chuckle a bit. And your lessons about self-gratification or delayed gratification are very important for us, because for those of us working and trapped and studying on a Saturday, it will require lots of planning and putting aside some of the things that we were able to do before. So now we have one other trivia question. Thanks again, Mr. Reed. And the next question, so get ready for the chat feature, is: under normal circumstances, if one follows the guidelines of the weekend program, how long does a BSc degree take? How many years does the weekend program allow one to complete their, oh my goodness, and everybody is quick on the draw. Yes, the weekend program degrees take 4 years. Thank you very much, Hannah Williams and Stacy and Kelly, for responding. And Hannah Williams will get the prize, so Ms. Query will be in touch with you. So now, after that excellent testimonial from Mr. Reed, we will now have our Deputy Dean, Dr. Heather Ricketts, who will share with us some of the rules and regulations of the University of the West Indies. So as Mr. Reed encouraged us to do, let's get it started. Dr. Ricketts, thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you and good morning. I'm not seeing my slide anymore. Is it up? Yes, thank you. So good morning, everyone. Good morning, Dean. Good morning, Associate Dean Vassiani, Ms. Creary. I see Ms. Pinnock online, and all students. Good morning and welcome to the Faculty of Social Sciences. As Dr. Vassiani indicated, we're really happy to have you. And so we are making every preparation to ensure that your journey with us will be as seamless and as enjoyable as possible. So today I was asked to talk to you a bit about the UE rules and regulations. And this is what I want us to spend a little time doing. Are you seeing my screen?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. So the structure of my presentation is that I will start by looking at the faculty structure, telling you a little bit about the departments and the programs, what new developments there are for this year in light of COVID. Professor Tennant has alluded to some, and so has Dr. Vassiani. Then we will get into the categories of students and the course loads that are associated with such categories of students. Tell you a little bit about the semester and how lectures will be. Give you an example or some examples of the course codes and what they actually mean per level. Then we'll get into the foundation courses, a little bit about exams and the GPA marking scheme. Then the regulations around the degrees and the award of degrees, things like how you add drop, transfers, how exemptions are handled, leaves of absence, withdrawals, etc., and important offices. Then I'll tell you a little bit about the Honors Society and some very important things which we would like you to note. So to start, by way of the faculty's organizational structure, you already met the Dean, Professor David Tennant. So he sits at the helm of the faculty. You are now meeting me, the Deputy Dean, Heather Ricketts, and there are other associate deans, one of whom you have met already, Dr. Vassiani. And Dr. Vassiani is one of 3 associate deans currently. We have another associate dean for undergraduate matters and student success, and for graduate matters. And for graduate matters. Then there are heads of departments, and the academic staff sit largely in these departments. And then you have the administrative and technical staff who are across the various departments and also within the faculty office, and then the service staff who serve the entire faculty. So what are these faculty entities? We have 4 departments in the faculty: Department of Economics, the Department of Government, the Mona School of Business and Management. Many of your courses sit within that department. Many of the programs that you are doing sit within the Mona School of Business and Management. And then we have the Department of Sociology, Psychology, and Social Work. Within the faculty as well, 2 centers and 1 institute. So we have the Center for Disability Studies, and that director is Senator Dr. Floyd Morris. Many of you would know him. He sits in the Senate of Jamaica. And we also have a Center for Hotel and Tourism Management, which is based in the Bahamas, but for this year, operations have been suspended for the restructuring of the program. So we haven't been admitting any students into the CHTM, the Center for Hotel and Tourism Management, in the Bahamas for this year. We also have the SALICES, people call it SALICES, but it's the Sir Arthur Lewis Institute of Social and Economic Studies, and it offers only graduate programs. So it's not yet of interest to you. We have an additional campus, and that's the Western Jamaica campus, which is allied to the Mona campus. It's in Montego Bay, and its director is Dr. Patrick Prendergast. So who heads the Department of Economics? It's Dr. Nadine McLeod-Rose, and the various undergraduate programs that the department offers are banking and finance. They do that major with the Mona School of Business and Management. There is the BSc in economics, both the major and minor, and there are majors and minors in statistics. It is possible for you to combine banking and finance with economics, or economics with mathematics, and also with statistics. In the Department of Government, the head there is Dr. Suzette Horton, and they have many programs at the undergraduate level, international relations being one of them, and Dr. Vassiani actually, I believe, heads the international or coordinates the international relations program in the Department of Government. Other programs are political science, political leadership strategy and management, public policy and management, and criminology, which is done with the Department of Sociology, Psychology, and Social Work. You would see me put a note about reading the department information and guidelines very carefully, and that's set out in the handbook, but I'll come back to the handbook a little bit later on. The Mona School of Business and Management is led by an executive director. So the head of the school is not called the head of department in the usual way that we refer to heads, because the Mona School of Business and Management is also a company. It's a kind of hybrid department. And so the person who heads is the executive, is titled or called executive director. And he is Dr. David McBean. The undergraduate programs there are accounting, banking and finance, chemistry and management. There is that option. There's entrepreneurship, human resource management, management studies, marketing, operations management, tourism management, and more very recently, hotel management. And that really is because we have suspended the operations at the CHTM in the Bahamas for the year. And so we have had to accommodate students at the Mona campus. The Department of Sociology, Psychology, and Social Work is another department, and it's headed by Dr. Orville Taylor. There are a number of undergraduate programs. There is a criminology minor, I referred to that earlier with the Department of Government, but other programs are in demography. There is a human resource development minor. However, anybody doing a psychology minor is not permitted to pair it with this minor. There is a labor and employment relations major. There are diploma programs in population and development, in psychology and sociology, as well as there are majors and minors in sociology, psychology, social policy and development, social anthropology, and social psychology. The department offers as well a social work degree, but it is a special because of the very specialized nature of social work. And so this is why there are no minors or majors in social work, but one is able to take 1 or 2 courses from the social work slate. I want to come to this slide of new developments. Professor Tennant, as I had said earlier, alluded to it, and so did Dr. Vassiani. Because of COVID, we have had to adjust our teaching modality. So this year, well, certainly for the first semester, we will be teaching completely remotely, online. We did it in the last semester of the last academic year. We did it over summer school. And so we are continuing with this modality. You may hear 2 terms associated with the teaching modality: synchronous versus asynchronous. Synchronous means that the lecturer and students are together live teaching and learning, while asynchronous refers to the lecturer uploading a video of the lecture and the students downloading or interacting with the material at any time, or even outside of the normal time that a lecture may take place. So that's important to know these 2 terms. Our VLE, which many students talk about, is our learning management system. It's called our virtual learning environment. So VLE, virtual learning environment. It is the place where you will find your course containers. And what we mean by your course container is if you are doing, for example, a course, say accounting, for want of a better, I'm just calling a course off the top of my head. Let's say accounting 1005. You will use our virtual learning environment, which is our learning management system, to actually find the course, Accounting 1005. It would be highlighted as a course container, and in there you would see your course outline. any kinds of readings that you may be required to do. Sometimes lecturers actually scan material and they upload them for you, or they send students to a particular website or websites and so on. So anything having to do with the content of your courses would be found there. It is a place where you will also be in contact with your lecturers, where you can upload your assignments and where you will sit your exams, take part in discussions, etc., all through our virtual learning environment in your course container. Now, Blackboard Collaborate. Sorry?
Not to interrupt you, we're not seeing your screen.
You're not?
No.
How come you're not?
You need to share screen.
Yeah, I was sharing my screen. So let me try again. Share screen. I did all of that. I thought, are you seeing?
No. Yes,
you're seeing only now?
Yes, we're seeing it now.
Oh, only, I'm very sorry. I thought everybody said that you were seeing my screen earlier. I'm very sorry. Okay, yes. So going back to the new development, so the course container would be where you would find your content, you would be in touch with your lecturers, you would upload your assignments, you would sit your exams. And Blackboard Collaborate, BBC as we call it for short, will be the platform by which one would take part in these courses, whether synchronously or asynchronously. Let me indicate that almost all of the lectures will be recorded. And so if you miss a lecture that happened live, you will be able to download the lecture. Now, COVID, because of the way in which we have shifted, it will require far more self-directed learning by you and management of your life at UWI. A lot of resources will now be online. I mean, I know that as young people, this is your real, learning platform. You are far more ICT savvy than some of the older ones of us, but it will require you to be far more self-directed with your learning and the management of your life at UWI. So continuing. Let's look at the categories of students and the course loads. So for you as a weekend student, you would be considered sort of part-time. You are a weekend student, yes, but because you're taking 3 courses per semester, you are considered part-time. There are other categories of students. There are full-time students who take 5 courses per semester. They are considered regular. Number of exchange students as well are full-time students. So students who are on exchange from other universities overseas. Now, as a part-time student, you cannot do more than 7 courses in an academic year. So even if a student wants to do an additional course, it could only be 1 additional course in one of the semesters. And one will have to ensure first that you are doing well before you are permitted to even take on an additional course. So no more than 7 courses can be done in an academic year. Of course, one can do, as weekend students, you have a summer semester where you do an additional 3 courses, and so you can make up that way. There are also specially admitted students. So Janai, Mr. Reed spoke of himself as a civil servant. And we have had over the years 1 or 2 persons from the civil service who have come to us as specially admitted students to take courses, particularly in statistics and in research methods. Now, if a student is specially admitted, they can do no more than 12 credits or 4 courses in an academic year. So it's a sort of occasional kind of student who would be a specially admitted student, and they would not be in a degree program. So as I said, for the weekend school, it would be 2 semesters. You are studying over about 14 or 15 weeks per semester, whereas for a regular student who is full-time, it would be 13 weeks per semester. But for the weekend school, it could be between 14 and 15 weeks. So you are starting a little bit earlier than the regular full-time student. Plus, of course, your summer semester. Your classes and your exams will be held on Saturdays. So you will not be sitting with the other students. During the semester, the course times are 2.5 hours per week per course per week. And you have 3 classes per course per week, okay? Or 3 classes or courses, sorry, per week. 3 classes or 3 courses per week. So on a Saturday when you arrive, you will be doing 3 classes, which amount to 3 courses. So for the semesters and lectures, each academic year is equivalent to 2 semesters. So we have the September to December and January to April. Sometimes for the weekend school, you start the last week of August. And so for you, you would start last week of August into December. And then we have the second semester starting January to April. During the semester for the regular full-time students, it's 3 credit hours per week, etc. And then, of course, you would have heard of summer school, but for weekend school students, there is an actual summer semester. I want to give you some examples of the course codes and levels. So coming in as brand new students, you are considered to be level 1 students. You are first years, and so all of your courses taken must begin with the number 1. Except there are exemptions got before with credit, and therefore the courses for which you got exemptions serve as prerequisites, then you can go into a higher level course. But all of your courses should start with the number 1. So some examples are like Econ 1005, Government 1000, Accounting 1005. When you get into second level or second year, the course code begins with 2. And in third year, the course code begins with 3, the digit or number 3. Course credits. For us in the Faculty of Social Sciences, the course credits we have at the undergraduate level are 3 and 6. So we don't have any 4-credit courses, but there are faculties with 4-credit courses. I believe there are also courses with 2 credits, and those are in the Faculty of Science and Technology, as far as I am remembering. There are courses which will be considered prerequisites, which means that those courses are important for you to progress onto a higher level. And so without having them, you will not be permitted to sit a higher level course. There are also courses called anti-requisites, where the content of the courses overlaps. So for example, the courses Management MGMT 2020 and Econ 2000 are considered anti-requisites. And Accounting 2014 with Accounting 2019 are anti-requisites. What that means, as I said before, the course content overlaps, and you cannot be sitting both courses. One has to choose one. I will ask you to consult the handbook. There is an actual appendix with all of the anti-requisites indicated. Now, there are some courses that are considered core courses. Those are courses that you must do. And for your degree to be declared, you must have particular core courses. So for everybody in whatever program you are sitting or studying, you must know what your core courses are. Outside of the core courses are free electives. These are courses that you can choose to do because you have an interest in them and you have the prerequisites for them. So some people choose as free electives courses, let's say over in humanities and education. They may have an interest in a foreign language, or they may have an interest in gender and development, or in psychology, or in sociology, or, or wherever. So those are free electives. In terms of exemptions, if one has received an exemption, then you must, whatever the course is, must be replaced with another course at the same level or above. And that's particularly for exemptions without credit. So if, for example, you got an exemption from a first level course with credit, then you move on. But without credit, you must replace that course with another course at the same level or above. Then there are co-curricular credits. These came on more recently over the last about 5 or so years. And these co-curricular credits are available to students, but students can only take one co-curricular course, and that would be equivalent to 3 credits. So these are some other examples of anti-requisites. Can be taken together. I'm telling you to see the handbook for the list of anti-requisites. In the weekend school, however, your hands are held very closely. And so Ms. Creary, Anisha, is going to hold your hand and make sure that you don't commit any of these cardinal errors by doing anti-requisite courses. And then at the time of graduation, you realize then that you're short 3 credits and can't graduate. Foundation courses are very critical for all of us. For us in the Faculty of Social Sciences, there are 3 foundation courses that we must do. And they are the following: Found 1013 or Found 1019, and then Found 1101 and 1201. But let's go back to Found 1013. It's called Critical Reading and Writing in the Social Sciences. Now, you take that course if you've got a grade 1 at CSEC English A, or a grade 1 or 2 at CAPE Communication Studies, or in the English Language Proficiency Test. If you don't have that, then you have to take Found 1019, which is called Critical Reading and Writing in the Disciplines. Now, this will be a 6-credit course, which means that you have to take it over the course of an academic year if you don't have the prerequisites for Found 1013 and you have sat the English Language Proficiency Test. So for you, it's either Found 1013 or Found 1019. Then we have to sit Found 1101, which is Caribbean Civilization, and Found 1201, which is Science, Medicine, and Technology in Society. We ask that this course be done in semester 1 for us in the Faculty of Social Sciences. There is another foundation course that social science students take, but only social work students, and that is Found 1301, Law, Governance, Economy, and Society. Now, there are any other courses, any other course can be approved by the Board of Undergraduate Studies as possible substitutes for Found 1101 or Found 1201. And you can replace any of those 2 with a foreign language course at the level of competence. So if, for example, you didn't do Caribbean Civilization or Science, Medicine, and Technology in Society, you can replace one of those with a foreign language course, but at your level of competence. Coming on to exams, we have a number of exams as you would realize. There are mid-semester exams, sometimes there's an in-course exam, there's coursework, there can be oral exams, and oral exams are sat by students who are mostly final year students who have 1 outstanding course and they have failed it at what we call an F1 level, which is not a bad fail, and so they are permitted to sit an oral exam or to take an oral exam. There are sometimes supplemental exams which students have to get if for medical or other types of reasons. Then you have students who are sometimes permitted to take exams only. So they have completed their coursework and the course allows them to, if they have failed the exam, to just do the exam only and to carry over the coursework. And then of course you have the big final exams which are sat at the end of the semester. This is what the GPA marking scheme looks like. It's all in the handbook. So you can, when I talked about the F1 failure earlier, you will see what that looks like there. But this is what the GPA marking scheme looks like. What an A+ is, what a B- is, what a C is, etc. Degrees. Now, a degree is a minimum of 90 credits. This is important, students. I am going to ask you to keep that always at the forefront of your minds. A degree has a minimum of 90 credits. Usually 30 courses must be done at 3 credits each, at least 30 credits per level. So I had the unfortunate telephone conversation with a brilliant young lady who is heading for first class. I had that conversation with her on Thursday. Time come for graduation, we are realizing that she has 27 level 1 credits, 27. So she's missing a lower level course. And so she cannot graduate this year. It was a painful conversation with her. And what she said to me was that she always knew that a degree was a minimum of 90 credits, but she didn't quite understand that one needed to have at least 30 credits per level. So that conversation with her on Thursday has said to me that I need to be very clear in what I'm saying to students as we orient you. At least 30 credits per level. So first year, when you have finished first year, well, for you as weekend students, you would have 3 courses in your first semester, 3 courses in your second semester, and 3 courses in the summer semester. So that's 9 times 3 would be 27 credits. So at the end of your first year at UWI, you would really have, if you pass all your courses, would have 27 credits. But it doesn't mean that you are finished with level 1. It would mean that you still have at least 1 level 1 course to take to complete the required 30 credits at level 1. So always remember 30, 30, 30. And that's why for you as weekend students, you will finish your program in 4 years and not 3 years. Now, if you are doing a special, the minimum number of core credits is 45. You cannot do a major or minor if you are doing a special. So in our faculty, social work students, for example, are doing a special. The BSc social work is a special, and they can't take a minor or double it with a major. If you're doing a major, 10 core courses are what are required, and if you're doing a minor, 5 core courses are what are required. The award of degrees. Now, your degree is awarded based on the grades in your 2nd and 3rd level courses. So while 1st level courses are very important, the award of your degree, the category of degree that you will get, will be based really on your 2nd and 3rd level courses. So for first class honors, you must have a GPA that is greater than or equal to 3.6. And then we have the 2nd class honors degrees, lower and upper divisions, and the pass degree. And then, unfortunately, again, I have met a number of students whose GPA has fallen below 2. Now, 2.0 is the minimum GPA. And for students who get a GPA below 2, the faculty has to write to the Board for Undergraduate Studies, making a case and asking the board to consider whether the degree could be awarded. So once it falls below 2, it is completely out of the hands of the faculty. This now goes to a higher level. The Board for Undergraduate Studies has to sit and they have to consider the case that the department will make. Right now, I am in the process of writing up a number of letters regarding students who have GPAs below 2. In terms of leave of absence, I think you heard Janoy, Mr. Reed, talk about how he had to take leave of absence, you know, struggling with the balancing of work and study. And then, you know, eventually he found his way to the weekend school. But a number of students in the regular programs who work and study have to take leave. They end up having to take leave of absence. Now, there are limits to leave of absence. If the limit is that you can have no more than 2 consecutive academic years of leaves of absence or 4 semesters over the life of your program. If you are applying for leave of absence, there are deadlines for applications without penalty. Sometimes if the deadlines, well, I should say if the deadlines are not met, the leave of absence will be with penalty. Sometimes students go into what we call compulsory leave of absence, and that's normally for financial reasons. They just can't pay. And so instead of, you know, them being withdrawing completely, they are put on what is called compulsory leave of absence. Late withdrawals are students who have sat an examination or completed some coursework. So for example, we've had students who have asked for late withdrawal. They were doing the course, they maybe sat one part of the coursework, probably had a few marks for one aspect of the course, and then something happened, maybe the death of a relative, an accident, God forbid, some kind of, you know, serious matter, or sometimes even work leads to the request for late withdrawal. The add-drop period. Now, it's a period in which you can make adjustments to your course selection. The add-drop period is usually at the beginning of every semester, about the first 3 weeks. So I would say to you to please look out for emails regarding any important dates that you need to note. As students, the university sends a number of messages via Mona messaging. Please look out for these. Some lecturers actually post some of these important messages as well within their course containers. And so you could look out there, but I'm not sure that every lecturer will do it. In terms of withdrawals, there is a term that we use, RTW, required to withdraw. That happens to students if their GPA is less than 2 in consecutive semesters. So let's say you came in, so you will start your program next Saturday, and God forbid again, the first semester your GPA was below 2, and then second semester your GPA is below 2, you will be required to withdraw from the university. If in the first semester your GPA falls below 2, you will receive a letter of warning. It will say, listen, warning here, red flags, shape up what's happening, put things in place. So the required to withdraw really is you know, hinges on your rate of progress, or I should say your rate of progress would trigger whether you need to withdraw or you can successfully complete the program. Deregistration takes place for financial reasons for the most part. And if one withdraws voluntarily, we ask that you make sure that you have your courses removed. So you must remove your courses if you are going to take voluntary withdrawal. There are other things I want to tell you very quickly about transfers, exchanges, and study abroad. But to be a study abroad or to transfer and to go on exchange, you would need to be a full-time student. You must have spent at least 1 year at Mona with a GPA of at least 3, and you have not had any disciplinary charges. But there are other transfers. People transfer from one faculty to the next, or one campus to the next, or they transfer their program even within a department. This is something which you may be interested in. There are exemptions available without credit, however, for CAPE subjects. So it's eligible to students with a grade 1 to 4 at Cape for the following courses. So for economics, if you have done units 1 and 2, you will be exempted from Econ 1000 and or Econ 1012. Again, from statistical analysis, or if you have, statistical analysis and applied mathematics unit 1, you will get an exemption without credit from Econ 1005 and Soci 1005. If you have sociology unit 1 with a grade of 1 to 4, you can get an exemption without credit from Soci 1002. Accounting unit 1 will grant you an exemption from Accounting 1005. If you have unit 2, an exemption from Accounting 1003. And if you have pure maths units 1 and 2, you'll get an exemption from Econ 1003. Now remember that these are for students with a grade of between 1 and 4 at Cape. Important offices to note. So the department office, the faculty office, if the guild representative, admissions, there are a whole number of offices that I want you to be aware of. But I think for you, the main offices are the libraries. Please, main library must be your friend, although a lot of the resources have moved online. The examination section, the Office of Student Financing, the Student Administrative Services, SAS, for financial matters, the Office of Student Services and Development, the Health Center, the Center for Disability Studies. These offices you should know. If you're having any kinds of health or wellness challenges, please remember that the Health Center is available to you. And there are psychological services and counseling services available online. You can actually chat with someone online. I would just quickly end by, with these last two slides, the Honors Society. In the Faculty of Social Sciences, we have an Honors Society, which is a potential training ground for a cadre of students who exemplify our mission, our faculty's mission. The Honors Society really encourages the development of a scholarly culture. If you read your undergraduate student handbook for this year, you will see the more details about the Honors Society. Eligibility to become a member or to be inducted into the Honors Society, you must have a cumulative GPA above 3.1 at level 1. So your level 1 courses must have a GPA of 3.6. You must pass Found 1013 or Found 1019, and you must not fail more than one course. And the last thing important for noting is to read your handbook very carefully. Read your handbook. Your handbook will be the handbook 2020-2021. I urge you all to be very intimate with your handbook. There are many important resources there, and there are also resources having to do with how your code of conduct, your responsibilities as a student, how you can check to make sure that your credits are the appropriate number, the class times for you, the student services that are offered by the faculty, issues of academic integrity, and where you will find what our undergraduate coursework accountability statement looks like. Every piece of work that you will hand up to your lecturer will require you to submit it with a signed copy of the undergraduate student, coursework accountability statement. What it says is that this work is mine and mine alone. Where I have borrowed from other people, as in I have consulted academic sources, I have properly cited them and given them their due recognition. And then we also have in the handbook the FSS Mona philosophy of teaching and learning. So students, the handbook has to be your friend for your journey, your next 4 years. Once again, I want to welcome you warmly to the Faculty of Social Sciences, and I wish you all the very best for a successful journey here at UE and particularly in the faculty. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Heather. Thank you, Dr. Ricketts, for a very comprehensive presentation. You have guided us through coursework requirements, exemptions, knowing that an entire degree program is 90 credits or 30 credits per level, and really underscoring the importance of becoming familiar with that handbook, because regardless of what our peers tell us, regardless of what questions we ask each other as students, it is really the handbook that you need to use as your reference, because that has all the information. Of course, you can consult with any member of staff, and clearly Dr. Ricketts has an immense amount of information, and we will all together guide you throughout your time here. We are moving on to another presentation, but just before we get there, we have one more trivia question, and we would like to know, again for another $500 credit, which dean? So we know that the weekend program started in 2009, but do you know who was the brainchild, or the weekend program is a brainchild of which dean, which former dean of the Faculty of Social Sciences? So the first person to type the correct answer to whose idea was the weekend program, or under which former dean did the weekend program start in the Faculty of Social Sciences? I hope Google on your phones work. So the Faculty of Social Sciences has had a couple deans. Our current dean is Professor David Tennant. Before him, we had Professor Ian Boxhill. Before him, we had some others, including the dean who started the weekend program. In 5 seconds, does anyone know? 5, 4, Miss Crary, do I tell them the answer? 3, 2, 1. Okay, no takers for that one. Maybe we'll come back to it even if during the next presentation. So while you try to figure that answer out, we have a poll for you. And you will remember that Professor Tennant said it's not what you do that matters, it's how you do it. And in doing that, he asked, what kind of student are you? So we would like you to tell us truthfully. So here is one where maybe there is an answer that will suit you best, but really there's no correct answer. What kind of student do you think you are? Are you a hitchhiker? You should be seeing a poll on your screen. So we're asking you to take the poll to let us know, are you an explorer, a comfort zone traveler, a shortcut traveler, a one-track traveler, or a hitchhiker? Thank you to the 3 persons who have voted so far. We're just waiting for others of us. I'm trying to remember what kind of student I was. I think I was a combination. I've been different types at different points throughout my student career, and hopefully I ended up being an explorer. So far we have 14% one-track travelers. We have 29% as comfort zone travelers, And we have the majority, 5 students saying that they are explorers, which is a good sign. We'll just have another minute and a half for anyone else who wants to take this poll to let us know. Thankfully, we have no hitchhikers or no one who is choosing to let us know that they are hitchhikers. So we still have 11 persons who have not voted, and we'll just keep this poll up for about another 10 seconds. Okay, so we have a one-track traveler, a couple comfort zone travelers, and the majority of us are explorers. Thank you so much for participating in our poll. Now we would like to, so that question about under which dean did the weekend program start is still open to anyone who can find the answer while we go through our next presentation on one of the most important resources that will help you through your studies at the university. We welcome Mrs. Jacqueline Howell-Nash to guide you on making the library your ally. What resources does the university library have? I know we have moved into a virtual or remote world, but the library is still a very crucial part of your degree, because reading for your degree is literally what you'll be required to do. So thank you very much, Mrs. Nash, for joining us this morning. Welcome.
Good morning, Miss
Good morning.
Miss Curry, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Can you please play the library video?
Hold on. Did you email me the video?
I think Miss Bourne emailed you the video.
All right, hold on.
In the meantime, everyone, look in the chat feature, and there's a link there. I'd like you to copy it and capture it for future reference. It's very important. You'll be able to go in once you have your ID and you can log in. Please copy and paste that into probably a Word file. The library will be open, and we've been busy making preparations because, because of COVID, we will not be able to take as many people inside as before. We'll be spacing out individuals, we'll be spacing out everything, and we're reminding you to walk with your masks. And if you have a personal sanitizer, we'll be taking temperatures and we'll be giving you sanitizer, but make sure you have your masks. Please don't take the library for granted, because it's a fact that those students who use the library, especially in their first semester, tend to do better. And if you get to know the resources and if you use the resources, it can make the difference between a paper with an A grade and a C grade. We cater to all levels of students and lecturers from first year to final year. I will probably go ahead and give you some notes while we wait on the video. So I'm one of about 20 librarians in the 5 libraries, and I'm asking you to commit. In your mind, in your spirit, in your body, everything, make a commitment that you're going to get through this, and you're going to get through it in 4 years or so. With me this morning is Miss Yolanda Togwell. She's another librarian, and she is the librarian who can teach you how to do this and how to do that. We're asking the lecturers to contact Miss Togwell in Melu to arrange for someone to visit your class and to teach you certain essential skills. Have you all captured that link? Just open a Word file and copy it in there, and then probably bookmark it in your internet. Ms. Curry, as soon as you're ready, let's interrupt, okay? So the library provides you with access to information to support your academic journey. You will need these resources. Please don't depend on Google or Google Scholar. It is not enough. And we can tell that you have not explored all the possibilities, okay? Example, we have books, we have journal articles. There are 5 libraries and you are able to visit any once you produce your ID card, your UE ID card, and the coordinators will tell you when you are to go and take your ID photograph. We have a library in Montego Bay, we have a medical library, a law library, a science library, and the main library. The main library is the library that has your resources as social science students. They are free to use. Please don't stay away thinking that we're going to charge you. Everything is free because once you have paid your fees, everything is free. The only thing you pay for extra is to print, okay? So as I said, because of COVID, we're busy changing, moving around the furniture, limiting the number of tables and chairs in any specific area. And my advice for this group of students, the weekend students who have to work in the week and who only have Saturdays, is that should you take a day from work or should you try to go to the library before class, please come early, come at 8:30, so at least you get in before we reach our quota of maximum students who can be in the space. Go early. You're special, you're weekend students. So you have to use your brain and say, I'm gonna go early so I get in amongst the first group.
All right, Jacqueline, Mrs. Nash, I'm not seeing a link to a video.
Okay, let me try and do it at the end. Please hold on.
Okay, no problem.
We'll be opening from 8:30. Mondays to Saturday. We will not be opening Sundays now because of COVID, but usually we would be open on a Sunday. So come in at 8:30 and we're going to be closing around 4 or 5 in the evenings. If I were you, I'd find a clear plastic bag for your belongings. Don't carry a lot of belongings, carry just the essentials. If not, you're going to be required to borrow a locker. And there again, we have a limited number of lockers. We had a bag check in the past, but because of COVID, we don't want to be handling one another's belongings too much. So if you get a clear plastic bag or come early and book a locker, everything is free. A bit of advice, do not leave your laptop in the car, because I did say carry as few belongings as possible, but don't leave your laptop in the car, please. The libraries have resources to assist you, and these include tablets on loan. If you are in need of a tablet, please speak to your lecturer or the coordinator. These tablets will be returned at the end of the semester. You all would might have heard about our tablet program. We have been lending tablets out, and they're coming back in now, and we're gonna check them off and loan them again. What we're gonna do is swipe your ID card, so we'll know exactly which student has which laptop, which tablet, and the peripherals. Okay, return everything, please. We have computer labs, but there again, we have to be removing some of the chairs. So the early bird will always catch the worm. We have printers, you can print yourself. We have books to be borrowed. We have journal articles that are online. But you must log in with your password, and it's very important that for journal articles and databases, we must show you how to use these. It's not something that you're gonna automatically know how to do it. Ask us to show you how to access a journal article, how to access a database, okay? Because you need your password to access them. We have a very important section called RESU, R-E-S-U. It's at the entrance of the main library, and you can have your assignments printed at a cost in black and white or color. We have online help. Please note carefully as weekend students. You can access our online help in 2 ways. One, there's an online chat feature. When you go on the library's webpage, look on the right side and you will see it says ask a librarian and online chat. And you see the logo for Ask a Librarian on online chat. Those hours are limited up to about 7 p.m. at night. They're not open now, so don't try now. You have to wait until teaching starts. The other one that you can use, and you can probably use it from now, is an email address. Please capture this email address. It says reference.library@uemona.edu.jm. I'm going to repeat it. You're going to keep this. You may not need it now, but you might need it in January. reference.library@uemona.edu.jm. Naturally, that response will be slower, but I kind of like the email approach. The telephone number to get help now, please capture this telephone number. And the person on duty there is called a reference librarian. When they say reference in this context, it simply means help librarian, okay? This is the telephone number, 976-935-8294. If you're unable to get through because the telephone is acting up, dial the UA Mona Library, the switchboard. Sometimes you're in a line, so don't hang up until it has rung at least 10 times. And then also extension 2294.
Mrs. Nash, Mrs. Howell Nash, could you repeat the first number, please?
That's a telephone number?
Yes.
Okay. So the number is 876-935.
Excuse me, not to cut Mrs. Nash, but they're all available on the Mona Library website. All the numbers she's currently giving you, they're at the beginning of they're at the first link that was shared with the library's website. They're all on it.
Thank you, Ms. Togwell.
Okay, thank you, Ms. Togwell. And please remember Ms. Togwell's name. She's the person who's gonna come to class and show them how to do certain things. So 876-935-8294 or dial the university number. Before your classes begin, which is not so long from now, please go on the library's website and read, read, read. Remember, everybody tells you about reading for a degree. You're gonna go on the website and read everything that you see. And then before classes begin, you're going to do your own private research on these little topics. The first topic is plagiarism. Another one is plagiarism in music. Another one, very important, is Google apastyle.org. You're going to Google apastyle.org and you're going to select the one that says APA Style, the authority on APA Style, and the 7th edition of the APA publication. The lecturers will know that we're now into the 7th edition. The 6th edition, from I think last year, October, they've moved to the 7th edition, and we should have started in spring, but I think by now it's time to move to the 7th edition. There are some changes, and Ms. Togwell's section will guide you with the changes. So the library has a special teaching unit. It's called MILU, M-I-L-U, and your lecturer can request a librarian to visit in class time and guide you on plagiarism, APA style, how to use ULink, which is our online search catalog, how to use the databases, example ProQuest. The earlier you do this, the better, just before teaching starts, or the first class, or as we are gonna get busy. Everybody gets busy, including yourselves. In closing, I'd like to say that you're not to get discouraged. Many of our books and articles are available online. You are don't think of yourselves as being disadvantaged because you're weekend. Everybody now is a distance student. You're just ahead of the game. And you are to read everything word for word. Many of our books are online, and you can actually download some of the books and articles word for word. We call that full text. So you can sit in your living room or in your office and access the resource materials, some of them, most of them. So listen carefully now. It's like learning to drive a car. You get better with time, but it requires practice. You have to be alert and you have to coordinate your efforts. So put in the extra effort by managing your time and reordering your priorities. I'm sorry, but choir practice cannot be the priority just for now. It will be there when you are finished. It is just for a time. By the time we have COVID under control, you will have finished your degree. If you have to take a leave of absence, come right back and resume classes. One of the postgraduate students has completed his thesis, which is going to be in the library for everyone to read. And in giving thanks, he said, listen carefully, I would never have completed this journey without the constant prodding of my 10-year-old son, who created deadlines for me and made sure I knew that I was accountable to him for meeting them. So I'm advising you to rope in your family for support. They can help with typing, searching, encouragement, and prayer. I'm gonna try and start the video now. Please hold a moment, stretch your arms, I'll be right back. And the video start, the video, you haven't turned on the video. It's already on? Hmm? There's another one, it's not that one. Here.
A very important role in the intellectual life of students at the University of the West Indies.
The UMONA Library offers physical
and virtual access to scholarly information.
Want access to physical information? It's easy.
Services Unit, RESU, offers a number of document services, including printing and photocopying, laminating, and spiral binding at a cost. You can email your request and we'll have it ready for pickup.
All registered students at the University of the West Indies have access to the computer labs.
Having a resource center at your fingertips is really important as a student. The UMONA makes that possible through online access. We have access to an abundance of e-resources. ULink is available to students all day, every day.
Everywhere.
Do you have a laptop, tablet, smartphone? Accessing information for your research has become so much easier.
The University of the West Indies Mona Library offers access to over 40 international, specialized, and multidisciplinary databases.
Also have access to digital collections and virtual reference.
The Ask Mona live chat allows you to speak to reference librarian online.
And it's all pretty simple.
You can also go directly to the subscribers apps to access the library on your phone. The UMONA Library allows you to view the world through the use of technology.
The UMONA Library, using technology to
Hello. Any questions? If you could put your questions in the chat. Ms. Stogwell, is there anything you'd like to add about foundation or Milu or anything or COVID?
Mrs. Nash, may I be invited to show my screen? The other video that was sent. Let me share.
Your co-host, they're allowed to share their screen.
Yes, yes, ma'am. I know. Thank you.
Okay.
Welcome to your UWI Mona Library. Pop in online or in person and explore the possibilities that await you. The UWI Mona Library is comprised of 5 branches. 4 are accessible from the Mona campus, while the 5th is accessible from the Western Jamaica campus. 3 of the libraries are named according to the specific programs to which they offer support. The WJC Library provides support to courses offered on that campus, while the main library's collection focuses primarily on the humanities and social sciences. Branch opening hours vary. All branches doing regular operations offer extended opening hours and weekend access as well. However, opening hours are now impacted by the pandemic, and as such, students are asked to visit the library's website and social media pages for updates. The good news is that our virtual doors are always open. We provide access on time, anywhere, to our online resources via our website. To access our databases remotely, students must log in using the same username and password that is used for our VLE. Access print and online resources by using UWI-Link, the library's online portal. UWI-Link allows you to browse our catalog to see available resources and their formats, print or electronic. It also provides a gateway to over 40 online databases that provide reliable, current information to support your research. Our most popularly used databases are Academic Search Ultimate and ProQuest. These are multidisciplinary databases with interfaces that provide students with several useful features. The Mona Library supports our users on multiple online platforms with general information, research and citation assistance, video tutorials on a range of subject matters to help ensure your success, virtual tours, etc. We offer several options for students to access research help, including a live chat option available from our website. Students will also be able to access recorded or live social media sessions designed to assist first-year students with research through our House of Residence librarian program. In preparation for your exams, let the library give you a helping hand. We offer examination pass papers that you can access by entering the course code into UWI-Link. There are multiple ways to contact us. You can call us, email us, use our online chat, or send us a direct message. We have several resources to help you succeed, and we are looking forward to hearing from you. Welcome to your UWI Mona.
Thank you, Ms. Stogwell. So the library is looking forward to seeing you. And remember, there are lots of resources there that can make a difference between a C paper and an A paper. Thank you very much.
Okay, just to add, we have been sharing about UWI Library, Mona Library Resources container. The container is free to you. You just have to register through RVLE to UWI ML1, and you'll be able to target these resources, videos on some of the databases, also information about some of the styles you'll be using APA 7th edition. There are also some additional links to the databases that we host. and we have some LibGuides available for you. In addition, we have our ULink sessions. They are 1 hour sessions that will be Zoom sessions available to you. We invite you to register for those sessions, and that has been shared in the chat. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much, Ms. Togwell and Mrs. Howell-Nash, for sharing about all those resources that the different libraries at UWI-Mona have. Students, I'm really urging you to make use of these resources. When our librarians say they're there to help you, they really mean it. I can tell you that Mrs. Howell-Nash held my hands to the end of my PhD thesis, so they're not just empty words. So thanks again, Ms. Togwell and Mrs. Howell-Nash. I have another trivia question before we move into some guidelines on how do you register and how do you use RVLE and understanding your timetable. Now, you may think that the weekend program only has students who sit by the wayside, but 1 year with the valedictorian at graduation was a graduate from the Faculty of Social Sciences weekend program. And that's our question. The prize for this correct answer will be a cup. And again, Ms. Creary will contact you to sort out the delivery of this prize. But if anyone can say the name of the valedictorian who was a graduate of the weekend program in the Faculty of Social Sciences. I can give you a hint that the initials are DW. And yes, we congratulate the winner of the previous question, who was the dean when the weekend program started. And of course, the correct answer was Professor Mark Figaro. And the winner of that is Miss Anika Jones. The correct question is, which graduate of the former graduate of the Faculty of Social Sciences weekend program was a UE valedictorian? Okay, so I'll watch the chat to see if anyone responds there. And so that we keep abreast with the timing, we will move on now to your understanding your timetable, how to register, understanding RVLE. And this segment will be led by Ms. Anisha Creary, who is the Administrative Secretary, who is dedicated to the Faculty of Social Sciences weekend programs. So welcome, Ms. Creary, and thank you for taking this time to share with us. Over to you.
All right, hello everybody, good morning again. First we're gonna look at the timetable.
We're not hearing you, Ms. Creary.
I'm not muted. You hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so on the timetable, we have several courses listed from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. For the new students, we'll be looking at the level 1 courses, which will be Econ 1000, Fountain 13, Critical Reading and Writing, which is Critical Reading and Writing in the Social Sciences. As noted on the timetable, in order to do this course, you need to have a 1 in CSEC or CXC or 1 in 2 in Cape Communication Studies. If you do not have either requirement, you can do the ELPT test, which I'll be sending notification out later on in the upcoming week. If you do not have the Fountain 13 prerequisite, what I would recommend that you do would be the Government 1008 Introduction to International Relations. All right. In the afternoon slot, we have Accounts 1005 Financial Accounting. If you have prior knowledge or you've been to university before or college and have an associate degree, and you're given exemption from these level 1 courses, then later on in the later session, we can go about deciding which courses you'll be doing according to this timetable. All right, so let's move on to the registration screen. All right, so before we look at what to register, we need to follow the handbook. It's always important you map your timetable according to the handbook, all right? So for first year students, your management studies and accounting courses are similar. So we look in the handbook, we have similar level 1 courses. We moved from, as you see, Accounts 1003, Accounts 1005, Econ 1000, and all the courses that are listed here. You get a copy of the handbook online so you can view in more details. All right. Management studies now, let's see similar courses. Similar level 1 courses, as I was saying to you before. So basically, when we're registering, we're going to focus on the level 1 courses that are required at the first year level. Share screen. All right, when you log on to SAS, we look for a student login. So as a first-time student, your login basically will be your ID number that you would have received in your acceptance letter from the university and your date of birth. Depending on when you got that acceptance letter, you may need to tap in to MITS Online live support to get your password reset, all right? All right, so I'm gonna log in now. All right, once you log in, you go to Student Services. First thing you click is registration. And then you look up classes to add. We're registering for semester 1, 2020-21. Then you click submit. Once you submit, you get the subject for each courses. So when you're course searching, you search per subject, then you find the course number to register. We're going back to the timetable so we can remember courses we had indicated that we're looking at for first year. It would have been Econ 1000. If you have the prerequisite for Fountain 13, we'll be doing that one. And the afternoon slot was 1005.
Not hearing you, Anisha. Something happened.
Okay. Where did I stop? Cut off first. Or cut off last?
Maybe about 3 sentences ago.
All right. Let's go back. All right, so we go and look up classes to add. We select the academic year and semester, which will be 2020-21, semester 1. We submit. And then our first course that we're looking for would be economics. So the subject will be economics, ECON, which is right here. And then we go course search, right? The first course is Principles of Economics. It's listed here as the first one, so we click View section. When registering for the weekend program, it's very important to note that our course is usually the first on the list. Our section is E11, the campus is WC, and the day is S for Saturday. So matching with our timetable, this course will be offered at 8:30 to 10:59 a.m. as would be on the timetable. So when registering, you click at the select right here. Let me go back up. So you click select right here. The checkbox will be open. Then you scroll down and click register. Please disregard my error. My error is because I am not a weekend student, so I'm going to get this error message saying campus restriction. But being that you're a weekend student, you'll be able to add the courses to your current schedule when you're registering. All right, let's go back to class search again. The next course will be Foundation in 13. So this course will be listed on the foundation courses, the course search. The first one on the list is Fountain 1013, Critical Reading and Writing. Review section. And again, it's listed under E11 lecture, campus is WC, and the days S for Saturday. Please note that all classes will be online. There will be no face-to-face classes, all right? All right, so we've gotten through the timetable and how to register. Being that our classes will be online, we'll be using our OUR VLE platform to access online classes. All right, so you log in the same way you log in to SAS to register for your courses. All right, so I'm moving to how we would access OUR to log on. Give me 1 second. All right, so once you log on to the portal, right, the student view will take you from. So whatever course you're registered for, you will see them listed on your portal once you log on. All right, so we'll look for Econ 1000.
You're gone again, Anisha. We're not hearing you clearly. Miss Query?
Yes, I'm back.
Okay, we're hearing you now.
Okay, so once we log on to the OUR VLE platform, whichever course you're registered for, they will show on your course container. As you're seeing, there are several courses on now, but when you're registered, whichever course you're registered for will show on your container. We're going to look for Econ 1000 container. They may not be a Blackboard link on it because our classes will be online. They may not be a Blackboard link on it right now, but I'm going to show you an example of where a Blackboard link was created for a previous course and how we access it. Alright, so this would be how your course, your container will be set up, as in for the course. Once you click on the course on the container, this is what you will see. The lecturer's information, the course outline, whatever material the lecturer wants you to view, all of that would show when you log on to OER VLE platform. Right, so I'm going to show you how we access classes from the Blackboard link. So being our classes are online, all classes will be diverted through the Blackboard Collaborate link. So once you click on that link, it will be similar. It's somewhat similar to the Zoom platform. The lecturer can show his screen, teaching you, and you will be hearing and seeing him or her as well as their screen. For one of the classes, I would have a link on it already, so I can show you how we go about doing our classes. So imagine, so we're going to consider this to be accounts 1005 course. All we need to see is how to access the Blackboard link, right? So once the container is viewed and accessible to you, you'll go on the page and you will see a setup this one. It will represent your course, and a link will be there that takes you to the classroom for the class on a particular day. Class is on September 5th, which will be next week, Saturday. So all this information should be on the site before class time. So we're going to try this link. So once you click on this link, it will take you to a Blackboard room. Being that a session is not created right now, usually there's a session for you to click and it will show you a similar screen to what you're viewing now in the Zoom phase. We're not, we don't have any class created now. This is how we go on and access the platform. All right, hold on, let me answer this question. Shaki McDonald said, is there a Saturday class for Caribbean civilization? This course is usually offered in the summer period. And Stacey said, for confirmation, I find my courses. The handbook can be emailed to you, but I'm making it available on the Faculty of Social Sciences webpage. So an email was sent with the handbook, but I'm also going to have it available online. Any other questions? Okay, let me ensure I'm understanding. This one is from Anna Williams. I did ACCA courses and passed a couple. Will I be exempted from any of the accounting courses? Once we have a relationship with that school, in the sense that we have confirmed the course outlines with that school that you went to, and you have completed whatever degree or associate degree attempted, you can be exempted from courses. So what we need to see is an official transcript from that university or college confirming that you completed your associate degree or degree program, or started a degree program. Any other questions? Okay, Tashi, Science and Technology Foundation course is offered in summer term as well. It is offered with the Found 1101. Those courses are done in summer term.
And Marcia Green is asking, where exactly should the transcript be sent?
When you're applying to UWI Mona, we usually request that you send us a transcript as part of your application. It is to be sent to the admission section. So an official transcript should be sent to the admission section. Once that is done, I can view and confirm the courses that you can get exemption from.
You're welcome.
Okay.
So far this morning, everyone, you have met the Dean of the Faculty, Professor David Tennant. You have met our Deputy Dean, Dr. Heather Ricketts. You have met Miss Anisha Creary. I want to say head cook and bottle wash, but Miss Creary is the holder of all the information and procedures for the weekend program, and she will be your primary contact person. You have also met me, Lisa Bassiani, who I am one of the associate deans, and the weekend program falls within my portfolio. And hopefully I'll be meeting many of you in the course Introduction to International Relations, where we will discuss many issues of world politics. We see where Ms. Green, Marcia Green, has not received an acceptance letter. Ms. Creary will follow up on that, and we will be in touch with you.
Tash is saying our textbook required for some courses. Yes, the lecturer will provide a list of required textbooks on the course outline. So closer to school time, class teaching time, you will see the course outline on the OUR VLE platform, and from there you can know the textbooks that are required. You can purchase them, or if they're available at the library, you can borrow them from there.
Many lecturers.
Go ahead.
Many lecturers also, because we know some of the financial constraints, we try to make as many readings available to you as possible to avoid buying unnecessary text. Well, not that any of your texts are unnecessary, but we understand the situation, and we don't want you to have to buy a text for $15,000 that you'll use for 3 months and never use again. I do know that the bookshop used to have a book rental system. I think it may still be in, I'm not sure what the arrangements are now, but we're very aware of some of the constraints, and while we all have reading lists for our courses, it's not required that you buy everything. Some of the resources are available as ebooks, as articles online. So there is a variety of reading resources for you. Stacy and Kelly, Ms. Creary is saying she's not seen the handbook for the weekend campus online. You wouldn't specifically see one for the weekend program. It's a handbook for the Faculty of Social Sciences. We also have online with us today Ms. Stephanie Pinnock, who at some point I hope you will meet, Ms. Stephanie Pinnock, works in the Faculty of Social Sciences main office.
All right, Stacey, and also I sent you an email with the handbook as well. There will be one online that says Faculty of Social Sciences weekend programs. It would have, it would just cover our programs solely and not the broad handbook that is used in the faculty. One was emailed to you, I think this morning, and one will also be posted on the website before end of week, next week.
Okay, does anyone, we are approaching the end of our session. So one thing is to always make reference to the general university, well, faculty handbook, and also to the reference information that Ms. Query will have shared on our website and emailed to you individually. As we go along, I know there's a lot of information for you to digest this morning, but don't panic. We will always be here to answer your questions, and you'll always have the handbooks and guidelines to refer to if you have a question. And no one has yet answered that last question about who the valedictorian from the weekend program was. Ms. Query, would you like to share the answer? Since no.
Yes, her name is Dali Wint.
Okay, thank you very much. Our final, when do we choose courses and will we be assisted?
Yes, what I wanted to do was after the official program has ended, persons who need assistance with registration, we can stay back and go through ensuring that you get registered and get all the materials you need to set up for classes. Deidre said, the deputy, that we would only have friends at the end of each year. Please say if we're able to do. Okay, Deidre, to answer your question, based on how the program is set up for weekend school, you're required to do 8 courses per academic year. So 3 in semester 1, 3 in semester 2, and 2 in summer. So in total, you have 24 credits per academic year. So within the 4-year time frame, you complete the required credit for your degree program.
Is that clear, Ms. Burgo? Thank you, Dr. Ricketts, for clarifying that that it will be 24 credits over the academic year for weekend program students. So perhaps what we'll do now is officially close the morning's session. Thank you to everyone for attending. Thank you, Dr. Ricketts. Thank you, students. Thank you, Ms. Query. And thank you to our IT support, Mrs. Keisha. And is there anyone I've left? Thank you, Ms. Pinnock, for also being here and always for your support. And thanks to Ms. Query for leading much of today's activities. So we will now formally end the session. Welcome to the University of the West Indies. Welcome again to the Faculty of Social Sciences Weekend Program. We look forward to seeing you in classes next week, where we will introduce you to the course containers, the course material, and we will continue to support you along the way. Thanks a lot for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the day. And if you need assistance with specific registration issues and learning a little more about the courses, please stay online and Ms. Query will be here to assist you.
May I just say again, thank you to all who have joined and welcome again to the Faculty of Social Sciences. Thank you so much.